This is Natalie, the Vintage Cross Stitch Niche, bringing you another video. Today is Saturday, a very windy day outside. It's actually beginning to cool down a little bit in South Florida, which is nice, still hot out. And as you can see, I'm in my Saturday sort of lazy day attire, which is fine. So today, I'll tell you the contents of the video where I'm going to show you some finishes. They're all ornament finishes I'm going to show you. I'm also going to show you a start, my last Halloween stitch of the year. We're going to talk about finishing techniques. I'm not an expert finisher, but I've now learned how to make ornaments, and I think I do it well. Well, I think I do it very good. Something like that. I have some new finds. We're going to show you some magazines. I'm going to show you some linen I made. And I think we'll have fun. These videos are not edited. They're all off the cuff. I have an idea of what I'm going to talk about. Sometimes I forget the names of things or whatever. I think I'm going to make a concerted effort to write stuff down from now on. Also, I bought these labels, which I have yet to put on my finishes. These labels are by Kathy Barrick, and they have they're so cute, aren't they, with the cats? They have the name, who stitched, you can put what fabric, all the information about your finish. So I'm going to start doing that before I forget what I stitched. So we'll get a little more organized. There are custom iron-on, sew-on labels that you can order as well. And I think I'm going to order them with my name on it and maybe by the year. So it'll just say who stitched it. For the ornaments, we may, I may never remember what or where they're from, but that's okay. Should we show you the finishes first? Sure, why not? So this one, and I did write down what it is, but this is called Quaker Noel. It's from Just Cross Stitch magazine. I'm already losing stuff. Go figure. Let me just find that piece of paper that I wrote it down on. Oh well, it doesn't. Here it is. Okay. We're back. Quaker Noel by Legacy, somebody called Legacy, and Just Cross Stitch 2010. Can you see it? Here's the back. Back is some vintage fabric. Front is on fabric that I made. As you can see, it's stamped fabric. This fabric is called Vintage Ornaments. It's got ornaments in the background, see? If I had this to do over, I would have used 2 strands and not one, and made it a little heavier so you didn't see the background as much, but that's okay. I put these little bells. I really like having, bells and things on my finishes. I forgot to do it before I put this together, so I had to somehow glue that on. It's hard to sew on, so I glued it on. I put it all on a button and then glued the button on, which worked. So that's one. 2, this one's called Joy. It's part of a design called Joy to the World by Fancy Work. Okay. And it's in Just Cross Stitch 2010. Here's the back. I finished the back as well. And here's the front. I hope you can see this. See, there's a little, there we go. And this is a vintage ornament that I found at a thrift store. And how did I attach this? Well, first I finished this little disc, and then I had to sort of sew it and tack it to the ring that's holding all the bells. Was not easy. You can see it if you look very hard, but you have to look hard. That's another one. Here is the third. This one came out great. This one is called Quaker Reindeer by the Work Basket. just cross stitched 2006. Isn't that cute? This is some vintage fabric. I don't know how vintage it really is. I think it's 80s. That I ordered it on eBay. Simple finish, no bells or anything, except for the bell around his neck, which is part of the original design. This fabric is my own printed fabric called Snowfall. Okay. You can drop these, they're not going to break. And finally, this fourth one is by Country Rustic Primitives. It's called Little Sleigh Sampler, Mini Sleigh Sampler. It's my favorite one, actually. I used some lace as the hanger, just to coordinate with the black. Couldn't find any Christmas fabric I really like, so I just used a gold, vintagey looking fabric. Also on the snowflake linen. And I put a little bow on it just because, with a little mini bell. So I think these all came out great. Should I talk about finishing now or later? We'll talk about finishing later, because I'm going to tell you about some stuff I learned doing all four of those. What am I working on right now? I put my sampler aside because I wanted to finish one more Halloween. Oh, mosquito in here. One more Halloween design. This is called Such a Fright by Teresa Kogut. Okay. The name of this linen is it's Weeks Chartreuse, and it's 35 count. It is not the Zweigart based linen. It is whatever they used before. I actually like what they used before. When I first started stitching on linen, I didn't like it because I thought it was a little stretchy. What I mean by stretchy, a loose weave. But I actually like the quality of it. Just to show you, this is done on the old Weeks, and I just like the quality of it. So, like the way it feels. And anyway, this is 2 days worth. I'd like to get this finished ASAP. I've seen multiple people do this on green, and I like the green better than the orange for whatever reason. Chartreuse, 35 count. This is called Mascara by Weeks. Mascara is a variegated black, but it's a deep black. It definitely has variegation to it because as you stitch with it, you can see some areas are a little bit lighter black and some are dark. But as far as blacks, it is a black. And it reminds me of mascara. Perfect. So, Such a Fright says 2020 Teresa Kogut, so this must be fairly new. This was a gift from somebody, the chart was. I will regift this when it's done. When I said the last project, it's not really the last project. Hold on 1 minute, it's not really the last project because that's the last real project. I have this itty bitty project to do. It comes with this wooden piece, and it's got two sides to it. So I'm just going to use any black that I have, and this is, I believe, Weeks Carrot. It's an orangey orange, a deep orange. I just got a little piece of it from Karen. This whole piece was like $4, and I thought it was what I needed for this. This is a quickie of all quickies, but wanted to do this. So I'll be probably, these two are the last ones, and then I'm concentrating on Christmas, and I really do want to get my sampler finished, which is a Christmas sampler. Okay, what next? Should we talk about linen? Let me show you some linen that I got recently. And then some linen that I'm going to dye. Or not going to dye. Some linen I got recently and some linen I dyed. First I'll show you an interesting piece of linen. This is an entire yard of 30 count R&R butternut. Never seen this linen. I'll never see it again. It was on eBay for a very reasonable price. It smells good. eBay, you never know. You can get stuff that smells like smoke. I've sent stuff back. But this does not. It's an entire yard. And the color is just so pretty. Isn't it a beautiful golden mustardy color? So if anybody's interested in buying a piece, I am probably going to sell a little bit of this. I don't really need a whole yard. I'll probably sell, I don't know, half of it. Who knows? But so that's one piece that's interesting. I bought a lot of linen, L-O-T. And when I looked through the pictures, it had some interesting linens in it, including some lakeside linen. Some of the linen that was just plain linen, I already dyed it. And it was just plain, random, remnant pieces, small pieces. But it also had some interesting big pieces. This is coconut macaroon, which is a off-white creamy color made by Legacy. It's 30 count. This piece is 26 by 32. It's a huge piece. It looks even bigger than that. I think it's bigger. Oh, there's some random small pieces in here that could be ornament-sized pieces. So that was sticking in that lot. This is, again, there's some ornament-sized pieces in here too, which are great. I love ornament-sized pieces for ornaments, random pieces. Rue green, this you can find. Flax you can find, it's a homespun color. This is just real, let's see, just random pieces. This is tin roof was in here. Pretty piece of tin roof. They had some plain linen, natural linen, Northern Cross linen, I don't know. Norden Crafts plain linen, just a bunch of it. Nothing wrong with plain linen for some real pretty rustic pieces. Plain linen does not dye well, just to let you know. It doesn't look right, so I don't dye it anymore. And then here's the other pieces. This is marked Lakeside, and it's marked Lakeside, but it doesn't say what it is. I believe it's nutmeg. So this is Lakeside. In fact, I compared it, and it's nutmeg. So this nice size piece was in there of Lakeside nutmeg. 36 count, it's 18 by 18, which is a good size. This piece was in there, Lakeside Exemplar, a 21 by 25 piece. Once again, it's almost pre-cut for a sampler. It's not vintage. It's not vintage Exemplar. It is just Exemplar. It does not have much variegation to it. Now that's what it's marked. It does look, it feels like Lakeside linen. To me it looks, you know, more like light Exemplar. I'm not sure. This one's definitely, whoops, Lakeside linen for sure, because it feels, it smells, and this is 40 count pearl barley. That was in there. This is just a small piece, a little ornament piece of lentil. This is bittersweet for sure, and it looks like bittersweet. 40 count. This is navy bean. 36 count navy bean. And this is a half yard of it. And then this is 36 count navy bean, a quarter yard. A quarter yard minus a little piece. Looks like somebody cut it away. What a shame, but that's okay. Navy bean has This one doesn't have much of a green tinge, but in general it does. So this is navy bean, and this piece looks different than this piece. Who knows why? Just the way it is. Different dye lots. Now just to show you some stuff I have. This is that, as you can see, that vintage ornament piece. This is the beginning of another ornament. Obviously, I don't have enough room to finish it, so that's the end of that. But I just wanted to show you, it looks what 2 strands on this is 32 count, looks like, and it's got a lot better coverage, and I think it's better for most of the ornaments. This is another piece of snowflake. Now just to let you know, every piece of linen that I dye, unless it's exactly the same dye lot coming from the same roll of linen, looks slightly different. It's the same for all linen companies. Mine really looks different. Because sometimes I'll buy lots of linen, or I'll buy somebody's big piece of linen and not even know what the company is. I have bought recently, part of this lot was Jobelin. I don't stitch on Jobelin. I'm going to sell it or dye it and sell it. There's nothing wrong with Jobelin. I just like natural linen. But I do know the difference, so I will, often ask, is this all Jobelin? Is this all linen? And so forth. So that's why some of these look different. Here's another piece of snowflake. Isn't that pretty? I like sparse snowflakes on this better than close together. Pretty, right? Here's another piece. This piece is like just a long piece for, probably we'll cut in 2 and use it for 2 ornaments. A small piece. This is a piece of linen that I actually ruined, but not ruined. I made a mistake when I stamped it. It didn't stamp right in the middle, so I'm just going to use it for ornaments. I don't know if you noticed, that is music, but this has music in the background. Can you see it? That's music in the background. It actually looks good when you stitch on it for beautiful ornaments. And this is a little town of Bethlehem. Sorry, let's see if you can see that. It's more snowflake linen. More. I just made a bunch. I don't know if anybody wants to buy some, let me know. I don't have this officially for sale. And then my signature linen, what I'm going to call the linen that's my favorite linen that I make that's good for everything, is called Old Sampler. And this is a piece of 36 count Old Sampler linen. It's a half yard of it. I was making linen for somebody, a custom order. I do custom orders where people will order a half yard or a yard at a time of what they want, and I'll make it on the count they want, and if they want it darker or lighter. I could over dye this a little bit if I want it darker. This actually came out very pretty though. This is a nice brown, chocolatey background on a cream. Just came out good, but I could over dye it. Sometimes if I think I want a little darker, I'll re-dye it. You can double dye. So just to show you, this one's a little darker. That's all my linen. Shall we go over charts? No, let's talk about just some finishing. So the way I do finishing, I may do a video just showing finishing, but I'm not an expert finisher. If I have a pillow that I think needs a zipper, for example, I'm going to give it to somebody else. At the cross stitch cupboard, there is somebody that does finishing. So I do give it to them. Like, I'll give you an example. This was finished by them. To get this sewn in and ruched like this, I'd have I don't know if this is pinned. I'd have to look at a tutorial how to do this, but they did this one for me. This pillow has piping. You see the piping all around? I wouldn't make this. But your basic pillows I can do, especially the small ones, and I've shown you those. And then the little ornaments for hanging on the tree, which you could make a small pillow, or I really like this technique. Cindy's Cross Stitch has a video, so look under Cindy's Cross Stitch, has a video named How to Make Round and Oval Ornaments. So that's Cindy. So I'm going to talk about that video, which you can go watch, and tell you just some things that I learned about it. Let me go get one more thing for you. Get some of the finishing stuff so I can show you. So what she does is she uses some templates, and I believe she has ones that are a big plastic thing that has a round hole. That's great. That's great. A great template. For round, I bought this. This thing is amazing. It is made by Olfa. It's got a little cutting wheel. Can you see it? This cutting wheel has a safety on it. I wish the wheel was a little bit bigger, but that's okay. You can replace this wheel with sharper ones. And this is the diameter. You stick this very sharp thing in the middle, and then you go around and it will cut a perfect circle. Now on this board that I use, that I put each side on, I put the fabric on one side and the cross stitch on the other. This will cut a deep groove in there. It won't go through all the way, it's too thick. But on fabric and on the batting, it cuts right through. So you have a perfect circle. That is how my circle looks so perfect. Okay, I bought this on Amazon. I'm sure you can get this multiple places, but it's Olfa and it's called a circle cutter. I'm not sure if you can make ovals with this. They have a video, which of course I have not watched, but we're gonna check. I also am not sure of why this has a hole in it. I usually just hold it. So, a great tool. The way these ornaments are made are that there are two pieces of this. This is mat board. It's like a thick cardboard. There are two pieces of cardboard and two pieces of batting. So you cut your two pieces of cardboard, your two pieces of batting. You glue the batting onto each piece of cardboard. You then put on one side your fabric and on the other side your cross stitch. You sew around and pull it tight, and that laces it onto your item. You take each side, okay, that you've just laced. Now I'm just going through this. Watch Cindy's video, and it'll take you through those steps. Each side you put back to back and you lace them together. You sew them together, making sure you glue this first, or if you want to put something like that in there, make sure you put that on way before you start finishing, because it's almost impossible to put it on at the end. I'll show you what I did. I got into trouble with that on one of them, and then you use glue at the last minute to put your trim on. That's the nutshell. So things that I learned and improved on her video are the use of this circle cutter. There are some online websites where you can put the dimensions of your oval in, and it will print you out a template. I printed out this template this morning. Templates like flimsy ones are sort of hard to go around with your pencil, just FYI. But we did that, so I was able to do my oval. The glue that I use is Fast Grab Tacky Glue by Aleene's. It grabs quick. And like I said, most of this is sewn, but there is a little bit of gluing. The trim is glued on, and if I put some maybe bows on the outside or something like that, this is also glued on. The thread I use is this. This is extra strong thread. It is super strong carpet thread. I got this on Amazon for only a few dollars, a huge amount of it. This stuff is like, you can't break it. I mean, you couldn't break it if you tried. The strongest stuff I know, and when you pull tight, the last thing you want is your thread breaking. Also, this is very inexpensive. I wouldn't want to use expensive thread just for lacing. This is the bomb. Cheap, 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 well worth it. As far as adding things on after, how would you put bells on here? You can't glue them, they're hard to sew. The bells and the little bow I put on a button. I sewed that onto a button and then I sewed the button on, and it works. You can get a variety of fabrics to use for the backs. Collect whatever, save your little pieces. Okay. So that I learned. Just all you need are fairly small pieces. On her video, when she sews the back, when she laces the back, she cuts the corners off after she laces. I cut them off before I lace. So when you what I do is I cut the circle, and I cut the fabric about an inch or so outside of the circle, just a bigger circle. I don't sew the square, I sew it in a circle. And if it's not tight enough, I scrunch it up, I check it out, and then I put a second layer of sewing and pull it a second time. Also, if your cross stitch isn't centered properly, you can sort of pull it, move it around, and then you're going to loosen it up, re-sew it again. So it's no harm to re-sew it. So these are all my improvements, or little helpful hints, I should say, on Cindy's cross stitch video. Just remember that you can go see the video. Some items I have for finishing are Rickrack, and these are vintage Rickrack. I have green. I have these I just recently bought. They're just little shiny Rickrack. I've got, this is by Dames of the Needle. You could glue that around, it looks real cute. The only issue with this color, it's called Peeps Meadow, I just haven't found, it's not black, it's a dark green. Have not found the right ornament for it, but I'm sure I will. This is a nice, I have this in red and gold. This would be hard to glue, but you could. This would be great for something, let me see. I think you probably could glue this in or sew this in before you do your finishing. In other words, when you sandwich these together, maybe put this in somehow. I don't know how easy. I'm going to try that. This you can also glue on. It's just, this one's black, but vintage ribbons. I find these everywhere, thrift stores, so forth. These are made in America. That's how you know they're vintage. Hardly anything's made in America. These are so nice. They make great little hangers. This is also made in America and made in New Jersey. I found this one to be really great. You can even put this through a cross-stitch needle. Really pretty linen. I got this at a thrift store yesterday in a box. I paid nothing for this whole box of stuff, and I mean $5, and it had ornaments in it and everything. And it had this box of some stuff that could be used for finishing. Look at this. Look how great that trim is. It had these little pom-poms that you could sew all around your ornament. You know, it's got them in different colors. Oops, you dropped one. You can, not sew, you can easily glue these around the edge easily. I don't even know what it has in here. My God, it's got somebody's stocking. I don't need that. Usually if I don't use it, I give it away, but it had some stuff like this, like, could you hang this on an ornament? Maybe. I have to look at this, and I'll get rid of whatever I don't use. And these little gifts that you could easily hang from one of your ornaments, just to give it some interesting stuff. But this whole box of stuff, I was like, ooh, I can use that. Oh, and in this box, one of these velvet ribbons was this one. It was new. So, some helpful hints about making these ornaments. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm getting better. I'll show you one more thing that I found yesterday, also at the same store. It was part of the box of stuff, this Jingle Bell Kit. I'm not going to make this Jingle Bells. That's not happening. I bought this because I figured I can use these for finishing. They're bluebells. I don't have any in that color, so those were cool. It also has some nice little ribbon that you can use. Like I showed you, you can put ribbon around the neck of a reindeer and so forth. Kind of cool. And it had this thing. And I think you could probably make a really cool ornament out of this. Maybe mount something on it. So you'd actually have a cool kind of hanger. I don't know yet. There's a girl, Lisa, that's a member of my page. Lisa Delisso. She has a company that sells on the Primitive Mercantile. She makes prim items and sells them there. She just recently did a cross stitch all around a rolling pin. It looked great. I'm going to ask her what she thinks about this, like what her idea would be. She's probably going to want it. So look at thrift stores and for lots of things where you can find these finishing items. My only issue is I don't have enough room for everything, but I took over another closet just to put some finishing stuff. But that was, I'm beginning to like doing the ornaments, and they're not hard. And of course I can do the wooden board ornaments now too. Not ornaments, but the wooden board finishes. I think you can make wooden board ornaments as well. I'm going to ask Teresa if she has some small little tombstone boards that I could mount and make ornaments on. There's also these little sleds that you can buy. I have such a sled. It's not meant for that. It was actually an ornament off an ornament tree, but this would be a great little ornament. It's got its hanger because this is a hanger. You can hang that right on the tree. This is some sort of a styrofoam thing that I just cut out. It's not the right size, but you certainly could cut the proper piece for that and then put a trim around it and it would look great. I have to find the right ornament for this. So I have this out. I have to find the right size, and as you can see, you can actually take a piece of a ornament if you need something small and just make that piece and put it on something. So new. Oh, I'm on a new diet, but here's the problem. The problem is I keep showing these these presentations of designers and patterns you may never have seen on the Vintage Cross Stitch Niche page, And what happens is that I end up buying them like everybody else. They're like, stop enabling me. So I'll show you some things. Praiseworthy Stitches was one of the companies that I showed. And this is Susan Rome and Pam Lewis, their collaboration. And just hold on one second. This is called Yule Tree. It's an itty bitty one. I got this to make an ornament out of. It's only 60 by 69. So on 28 count, the whole thing is 4 1/4 by 4 7/8. It's only about that big. So I figured, and this one was made with Mill Hill beads. So either I can do the beads or I can do this, just do it as an ornament and maybe put some bells on the tree, some of those little itty bitty bells I have, or I don't know. But this I bought to do an ornament with. I'm sorry, I'm not holding this very well. So I did order some other Praiseworthy Stitches, and they're not here yet. But this Yule Tree is awfully cute. It looks like there's some sort of bird at the top. Just taking this out just to see. Is that a bird? Interesting. Button used, Mill Hill 40377L. So that maybe that's a bird. Let's see if I can find it. But there was a little note inside that said, model framed by things remembered. It looks like this has never been opened, used. But how cute this is. So this is going to make a great ornament. This is what happens when I share charts and things I don't have, and then I'm like, oh, I should order some of those. I just ordered some downloads. I did not print them out yet, but I will. And this is another Praiseworthy Stitches. This is a limited edition 10. This lady has some more. These are on eBay, and they were 20 bucks for the 10, which I thought, considering it's a full kit, that's a good deal. I have 5,000 scissors, and of course I can't open this. I mean, this has never been opened. These are brand new, sealed. Let me get a scissor out of my 1,000 scissor collection. I'm going to show you this scissor also for cutting out. This is an Olfa scissor made in Japan. It is a great scissor, this size. It's not an embroidery scissor, but it cuts this very precisely. So it's good for other stuff. Anyway, let's open our box and see what's inside. I saw this done, and that picture does not do it justice. Praiseworthy Stitches. I love opening stuff. Wow. Just to give you an idea of what's in here. There's, interesting that it showed it black on the front, but this is white linen. Okay, see, cream linen, so you've got some linen. A whole lot of floss, some ribbon, a bunch of charms and things, whatever these are. Beads and charms, more. There's so much stuff in here. Oh, trim. This is amazing. What a great gift. Fabric. And there's also some more finishing things in here. Hold on, I don't want to lose any of this. More finishing items in here. these cards maybe they're templates. I don't know what the cards are for. It also looks like something on the bottom. I don't know if that's a template. Okay, let's read and see. This looks like it makes more than one item. It's got to. I don't know. I saw the kit. I looked up Praiseworthy Stitches and I saw the kit and I said, ooh, 20 bucks. It's got to be. Now it looks like she already sold a bunch of them. Instructions. Ooh, a lot of instructions and templates. And included 32 count linen, floss, white bead trim, blah, 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 blah. How to make a finishing for a pin cushion, a needle book, and a scissor fob. So I don't know if you get enough to make all three. My feeling is you probably do. And this is like a snowflake pattern. So you got the snowflake pattern. And where's the flowers pattern? Am I crazy or what? All I see is the, aha, here it is. There's the snowflake pattern, and then there's the flower pattern. So now this all makes sense. You can see three things it makes on there. You see? Pin cushion, fob. This is awesome. This is just awesome. What a nice item. Perfect to take on a trip too, because it's so compact in its own little thing. We're going to Disney. This would be really good to take. Love it. That was the unboxing of that. I also presented Eileen Bennett, the Sampler House. Tried to get her to be a member of our group, and I don't think she accepted, but that's okay. She's probably like, who's inviting me? This is called Multiplication Table Sampler. I thought this was the bee's knees. That's unbelievably cool. Not that I needed another sampler chart. I really didn't, but I thought this was just exceptionally different. It's got to be an original sampler, I don't think. Let's open this. Don't you like opening stuff with me? This wasn't very expensive. I got this one. I'm going to tell you places I have a good experience with. I got this on at Cobweb Corner. She has a lot of charts for very inexpensive prices. I believe this was $6, something $5 or $6. And it was like $1 something to ship it. Excellent, excellent prices she has. So this is an older chart, of course. It's in multiple pieces, which I don't like, but all pretty easy to read. All kinds of instructions, tons and tons of instructions about different stitches. And I think this is one of her original designs. It's 173 by 150. It's not big. And it says here, flat back queen eye, Algerian eye, square ray, double Levithian, knit stitch, Scott Rhodes, Hungarian, checker, and hem stitch unite with cross stitch, providing another link with the sampler maker's past. Don't tell me it's got all those stitches in here. It's got a little, yeah, it's got some different stitches in these little area, those little squares, but who cares? We can learn something new. Not a big sampler, and this is like a marking sampler, or amazing. Amazing. Love it. So, I don't know what year this was. I would assume 80s. But these are, a lot of these are out of print. I don't think hers are all out of print. I think you can order from her website. Some people did go to her website and order some of the designs. She has some gorgeous samplers. So that I bought. Here's something else I bought. Oh, this was such an impulse buy. Little House Needlework's Heart of America 2008 special release. I saw so many people do this and I fell in love. Isn't that great? It's from outside, that noise, I'm sorry. And this little kit comes with all the floss. I thought it came with the fabric, but it doesn't. And these cute little buttons, and I don't think there's any other way of getting these buttons. So, and this is sold out at a lot of places. I found this at Down Sunshine Lane. Once again, I had a very good experience with them. She shipped this, I got this 2 days later. And I tend to buy, my first choice at buying things is the cross stitch cupboard. I'll tell you straight out, I like to give Karen my business. And she is a local needlework shop, and we need to save our shops and support them. But she doesn't have everything. So, or if I'm home and I can't drive all the way down there to get a floss that I need or whatever, I can either call her and she'll mail it, or I just order it. It's, you know, but I do try to buy charts from her, and I'll contact her and say, hey, do you have this chart? So this is awesome. This is awesome. This will be one of my spring ones. But 2008 special release. I've seen so many people do it, and it's stunning. I wish that person would stop. I don't know what they're doing, but... And then finally, this is from Hirschner's, and this is the Giving Thanks table mat by Blackbird Designs. This was originally in a calendar. And Pam and Steph said you can call there. In fact, they provided the phone number. And I'm going to shut this, and I'm going to come back to this when that's over, because it's driving me crazy. Well, that was driving me crazy. It was like a high-pitched blower. The guy's done, so I'm back. Anyway, we just were talking about the Giving Thanks table mat. So Stephanie and Pam and Stephanie, they actually have the number, and I did call, and I think it was $4.95 for shipping, and they sent it to me. Look how pretty that is. Okay. It's a pretty, I'll give you a glance at the chart. I don't see why not. It's free, sort of free, but there's directions how to make it and everything. So you can get this free Blackbird Designs nice chart. And it's a Thanksgiving chart, so there's plenty of time to make it. It's not very big. You could easily make this before Thanksgiving. It's small. And I like it how it's on black, on the black. So really pretty. This is how things get lost. Let's put it back in our box. I'm going to show you some magazines today, and that's how we'll end our video. Before I show you the magazines, I did get these from Lucy Beam in the mail. These are little thread keeps. I now have a whole bunch of them. I love them. I'm going to make these on my own. I'll just show you them. Check this guy out. And this one's the coolest one ever. So these are really cool. I'm going to make these on my own. I'm going to figure out how to make them. But they're from Lucy Beam, or I'll just buy them from her. They're not that expensive, actually. Okay. So I have a pile of magazines here. I can't show you all these magazines. One of them I'm not going to show you this year is Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I finally did get this in the mail. I think we missed the boat on this. An awful lot of people have already shown it, so I'm not going to show you this. But it's awfully nice. It has a lot of really nice designs in it. Punch needle and some embroidery too. So I will show you the Christmas one because I heard that's coming out soon. I have these magazines. Some of these are Better Homes and Gardens, which aren't made anymore, cross-stitch and needlework. And I have some Christmas ones, and I have a Thanksgiving one, so I was going to show you some selected designs from these. And then I have some of the older just cross-stitch ornament ones, and I also wanted to show you some designs. I found one more chart in here. I had showed you this last time, the Quaker Santa and the Quaker Snowman from the work basket. I found this online. It was very inexpensive. I think it was $6. And I got this from Salty Yarns. Again, I randomly found these charts. And highly recommend their shop as well, because Salty Yarns sent this right away, had no issues. This is awesome. What red do they use for that Santa? Now I'm curious. It's a nice variegated red. Thread Gatherer Silken Colors in the Burgundy. So it is silk. I suppose you can use any variegated red for that. First things first, this is Cross Stitch and Needlework, Better Homes and Gardens. I got this at a freebie table at a small retreat, a local retreat. So I figured I'd go through here and just show you some of the nicer charts in here. You can find these on eBay and Etsy for very inexpensive. This one's called Pick of the Patch. That's quite a nice chart. It's a beautiful chart, in fact. Pick of the Patch. And that is designed by Jim Williams. I've never heard of Jim Williams. If anybody knows him, please enlighten me. So, and it's 130 by 90, which is not very big. And like I said, I'm just going to show you some of the more interesting things. This thing is fascinating to me. Isn't that cool? Look at the webby stuff in there that's stitched in there. This thing is called, this is fascinating, it's beautiful. And that is called, I don't know, Halloween Window by, they don't give a name of somebody here. I don't know. Designed Halloween Window by Patricia Andrely. I don't know her either, sorry. And if somebody does know her, let me know. Then let me show you some of these really pretty ones. I think these napkins are gorgeous. Right? This is of course a cornucopia, but this thing is really nice as well. On like a bread basket. What a nice gift that would make. And it looks like you can put somebody's monogram in there. That's nice. So these designs are by, there's also a table runner by Ursula Michael. The cornucopia is by Barbara Sestock. And it does not say who the other ones are by. The napkins, seems to be an issue with finding out. I'm not, the napkins and casserole cover, they're both made by the same person. It does not say. I apologize. So, but those are really nice. Really nice. Okay, and I think that's it for this one in terms of interesting designs. Then there's some interesting designs by Christine Rogowsky, just to show you. I know I've showed you this before, but just, these are pretty nice. And her name is Christine Rogowsky. So, and she does have one in here, which is called Simple Pleasures. That's real cute. So these are relatively contemporary. I don't know what year this magazine was made, but I don't see any WWWs in here. And 1998. 1998, it looks like. So, internet was in its infancy. Here's another one. This is a holiday design one. Better Homes and Gardens, Cross Stitch and Needlework. This is also 1998, so that was October, November, and this is December. And I'll show you some of the real cool stuff. I love this. Mistletoe Banding by Judy Kaufman. That's all done on a Zweigart band, linen band. Real pretty. That's why I picked this up. I saw these. This one is called Sonia from Tver. And this is done by, I don't know, Robin Clark. It's a babushka. Russian doll. And then there's a cute Santa in here with a kid. A lot of solid stitching and back stitching in that. A Peace and Joy. Nice, right? And those are by Mantle Scarf and a Pillow by, I don't know. They don't make it easy, do you? Well, I don't know who did this. Photographs by, it says the photographs and it doesn't say the name of the person. It probably is in here. But those are pretty nice. Then you've got some Lizzie Kate in here. And look, there's a whole article on Lizzie Kate. And the Lizzie Kate design that they give you is Keep Christmas in Your Heart by Lizzie Kate, who we all know and love. Very cute. And that's in here. There's also a postage stamp, Santa stamp, by, I don't know why they make it so difficult, Therese Beasley. That's awfully cute, isn't it? Very nice. Okay. Postage stamp. And they've got this gingerbread treats, a bunch of gingerbread men by, why did they make this so hard? I don't know. By a mystery person. But I thought that was cute, you know. Pretty nice. So these are cool. Like I said, I'm not showing you every design in here, but I'm just showing you some. There is a Noel sampler that is beautiful by Laura Holtorf Collins. Again, if you know any of these people, let me know. Isn't that lovely? That is a beautiful little sampler. Very, very pretty. Done on Stony Point linen, whatever that is. Stony Point, must be the color. Anyway, they have a lot of cute stuff in here. One more is a Christmas treasure box by Janelle Geese. Just one more. I thought it was pretty. It's a small design. Just a little bit of back stitching on the house, that's it. And I don't know what box that is. That's done in a purchased box, and it said with a 6 1/4 by a 4 1/4 design area. I wish that they don't give you the name of the company. Just going through these. Okay, so those are some old ones that are holiday, and then we have some new ones. I've shown many of these before. I think we'll just go through one of them that I know I haven't shown before. Let me see, which one did I show? This one? No, I never showed this one. This is a 2004. Okay. And I think the way they did these is they're all on in the beginning. Yeah. So you kind of have to go through them. And they're all in the beginning here, and they're randomly put in. First page is number 1, Water's Edge, 2, Brown House Studio, 3, Monster Bubbles, 4, Ursula Michaels, 5, Trail Creek, and 6, Chessie and Me. Seems some cats in here. Okay. you see them all? See the numbers with them? Okay. Next page. This magazine was a little weird. It's the only one I have that's done this way. 2004 designs from Margaret Lee, Charlene Designs, Scandinavian Stitches, Erica Michaels, Fancy Work, Full Circle, and Forget Me Not. The cute one in here I like is number 1, Designs from Margaret Lee. A lot. And it's that one, the one on the top. That's number 1. I also saw the 3 ships one is kind of cool too. And then this is Periwinkle Promises, Charlotte's Web, Nordic Needle, From Nan's Hand, DeBees, Stitchworks, Needle Play, and M Designs. These all sort of have a certain look to them. Cute, right? I haven't seen anything I want to stitch so far, I don't know. And this is Charlotte's Collectibles, Amaryllis, Sisters and Friends, A Female Work, Cross-Eyed Cricket, Marie's Garden, The Flower Thread Company, and Shepherd's Bush. Can you see them all? Okay. Next is Moss Creek, Carriage House Samplings, Serendipity, From Mary's Heart, Elizabeth's Designs, Thistle Threads, JBW, and Threads Through Time. I did like, there was one in here, number 3, which is Serendipity Designs, the Crystal Forest. I thought that was kind of cool. Actually, some of these, they're all, this page I do like a lot. Got it? Okay. And then number 1, La Di Da. This is the coolest one in the whole thing. I'll show you. Britter Cup Design, Gemini, The Victoria Sampler, Little by Little, Blackbird Designs, Little House Needleworks, and Kitty and Me. And interesting is number 1, which is La Di Da Snowbird. Check that bird out. That is cool. That's really cool. And I know there's a lot of Blackbird design fans out there, and the Blackbird design one is on the bottom. It's that little bird on the bottom. Okay. Cool, right? That La-di-da Snowbird is the bomb, though. That's so cute. Next, A Stitching Company, Mosey and Me, Heartstrings, Dragon Dreams, Homespun Elegance, The Vermilion Stitchery, and Designs by Gloria and Pat. Very pretty. If you want any information about individual ones, let me know and I'll look it up for you. It's a cool looking Santa on the bottom. And let's see, next is the Sampler Works, With My Needle, Cindy Valentine's, The Work Basket, The Sweetheart Tree, and Handworks. Very pretty. The Work Basket ones are all sort of Quakery. So that's the Work Basket one on the bottom. Cool, right? See them all? Okay. A lot in here, boy. Number 1, Paw Printings, 2, Bright Needle, 3, Jeanette Douglas, 4, Samsara, 5, Samplers and Such, 6, Lizzie Kate, 7, Lynn's Prints, 8, Angel Stitchin', 9, Glory Bee, and 10, Patricia Ann Designs. Very cute. Just make sure you can see them all. I think you can, right there. Again, if you need to know which one's which, let me know. Next, Indigo Rose, The Prairie Schooler, Julia Lucas, Heart and Hand, Gentle Pursuits, Imaginating, and Sue Hillis. That Silent Night one, the first one, which is by Indigo Rose, is pretty cool with the music. Right, aren't these cool? And that's it for this magazine. I could show you others, but I think we're running out of time. One quick thing I wanted to show you is while I was on break, I put some of these finishing things in a little basket. These little baskets are available at many thrift stores for very little money. What's cool about them is anything that has a high handle like this, you can put your, just open this. You can put your floss up here. So, can't get it open. Cheap. So if you have your cute little floss key with your floss on it, you put your floss and it sits on top. So I always like these baskets. It's what organizes stuff and it keeps it pretty. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. My weekend's half over, I guess. It's already Saturday night or Saturday evening. Please be kind to each other and just keep stitching. And if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, I'm sorry. And if you really like the video, please follow the channel. The more followers I have, the more encouragement I have to make new videos. From my home to yours, enjoy your week. Have a great day.